Welcome to my very dirty van. We are in an apartment currently, not a garage, so my van is part of my garage as well. Welcome to our first video of many, probably, of the van installation. This is just a starting project to see how everything goes. Thanks for tuning in. We are going to cut, I have Polyiso board here in the 1/2 inch and 1 inch size. This is a T1N, a 2005 Sprinter model. So you're gonna see these little ribs here, right in the middle of the open area. I'll go over here and give you a little better view. So directly inside of that open canal is that middle rib. So I'm going to end up putting 1/2 inch to match up to this, and then 1 inch over top of it to make sure that I am insulating as good as possible. I've already have my rattle trap in there, and we'll see what happens. This is a first run here. Put it in place. I just have some 1x2s, which may not be the perfect I see because they don't really bend at all, but adding some pressure. And for this, I'm using a 3M Super 77 adhesive. I'm going to start with the walls today. I have my fans in place, but not my solar panels yet, so I will not be insulating the ceiling. Kind of just starting the project to get going. So I'm cutting these panels out to fit in this groove between the side and this middle barrier, and then I'll put a full 1 inch on top. That way I'm trying to hit as much surface area as the metal as I can. So far so good. We'll see how we do. Alright, making a little bit of headway. This weekend was really just a test project, but making a little headway on the installation, which is nice. Nice to see things being done. Everybody say hello to Alice. Alice does love playing in the grass while I'm working on the van. And back to work. Welcome back to our insulation nightmare. Definitely time taking, and the first few I put up wasn't quite sticking like I wanted it to. The Super 77 said about a 1/2 hour to 1 hour, so I let it go 2. And I may not have been putting enough on, but now I've doubled my support, so I have 4 on the full size beam. As you can see, here's 2 half beams, and then I have a full one go over it. So I have 4 on each of those, and I'm going to let them cure or glue to each other, if you will, overnight. See how that works. And I've just started my first thinsulate, so I have it back up here. You can see on this side here, right there, have that large middle rib. You really can't get to it all, but it is howl. So I've brought wires up top here. There's a very small 1/2 inch hole at the top. But going down into the bottom, there's 2 to 3 inch hole there. So I've, on the bottom here, tied the string to the thinsulate, pulled the thinsulate up. This is the remainder of it, as you can see. pulled it up, keeping the white to the front, and now probably can't make it out in there, but thin slate is all the way to the top with the white towards it. Sprayed some 3M90 in there, and with a screwdriver kind of push it up again so it should stay in place. I'll do that on that side as well. You can see the 3M thin slate in there all the way to the top. So both are done, but I'll have this. This is a self-contained rib as well, all the way down, and just above the door you can see that thin rib that goes into the same size self-contained rib right here. So I'll be pulling 3M through all of that. Ran most of my wires already to do so, and just waiting for this to dry. Hallis leads the traveling outside the bots pack, so he's nice and happy. He's got his little treat sitting outside, and we're going to continue pulling some thinsulate. So far so good, had really good experience. I'm hoping to... Hello everyone, and welcome to my little castle. So things are coming along. Hopefully get a good bit of the insulation done today, but show you a little bit. We have about half the ceiling done, a little over half the walls done, so we are making good time. It's nice to see things kind of coming into place. Love it when a plan comes together, but good stuff, good stuff. Let me take you around here a little bit. The wall panels, the large panels done. You can see all the way down. Sorry for my mess. Gonna hit some of these bottom panels today, start chopping in small ones. You can see my thin slate, which I'm putting through the ribs. So you can see here kind of a before and after of the ceiling insulation. Fan area, and then a completed ceiling and fan area. I have 2 inches of the polyiso board cut in, and then the great stuff, gaps and cracks, insulation around it to seal everything up. Those are my solar wiring. Finally got that done coming down out of the ceiling. I have to tuck that away, but we're finally making progress. And we have the ceiling complete. Yay! Feels good. So I'm just finishing off the ceiling and the spots. You can see I have a little hacksaw blade here. I've just been trimming off my excess. And the ceiling is complete. The T1Ns, if you can see in here, have a very sharp curve coming down with no separation of rib or anything. So I've come down a few inches of it, and then I'm going to put thinsulate here. I'll back up a little bit. Thinsulate to the bottom of that rib, because I will be running my wires down in here. Down there for my electrical. Try not to spin too fast. I have my solar wires coming in, taped off. This will look what the other side's gonna look like a little bit. I have to secure these yet, but they're going down the Howell rib over here, and I will be running those. So making some headway. A lot of my walls are done, as you can see, just a couple open cavities. And the ceiling is done. Thin slate's awfully easy to cut and stuff in there, so we're making some headway. We're really doing it, Harry.